Hello, I'm Daniel, and welcome to the Emunah Project. One of the things we stress here in my series of videos is always to be happy, always to be with in good humor. And it's important to have a good sense of humor. But the standards for us having a good sense of humor differ from the standards of somebody in the comedy business. In the business of comedy, there's usually what you call a butt of the joke. Comedy humor is often at someone's expense. You're making fun of someone, you're ridiculing a situation or a chain of events, you're sometimes mocking your own qualities. Usually it's at someone's or something's expense. Having a good humor for our purposes is slightly different. You have a humor that's good on basically 3 points, 3 conditions. First of all, as tempting as it may be, that Yetzer Hara is so tempting. Don't insult others. Don't denigrate others. Don't make humor at the expense of someone, that someone suffers because of that somewhat biting humor. Be very careful of that, especially if you humiliate or denigrate someone in public. One of the worst things you can do, by the way, is to embarrass and humiliate someone in public. It's a horrible thing to do. It's one of the worst things you can do. So don't insult others, number one. Number two, don't be vulgar. It's a big Chil Hashem when someone who is seen as a believer in God acts in a crude and vulgar manner. It makes it worse when it's a good, decent religious person acting in a crude and vulgar manner. It's always worse. If it's a frum Jew, whether it's a very noble, self-respecting, decent Noahide, to act in a crude and vulgar manner, people paint us in the worst possible light based on one or two indiscretions. They say, oh, if that's what it's like to be an Orthodox Jew, I don't want anything to do with it. Don't be vulgar. And don't present yourself, this is related to denigrating people, don't put yourself in a good light to the detriment of others. Don't brag or talk about your good qualities at the expense of someone else. In other words, you don't need to put somebody down to lift yourself up. If you want to talk about your good qualities, you're a really good musician, you're a good poet, you're very good in mathematics, you're a good scientist, fine. But don't do it by putting down others. Putting down others is an element of standard comedy. That's not the standard we'd hold ourselves to. We're not in a comedy club. If we're going to use humor, and we should use humor, because very few things lift the spirits like good humor. But remember these points. Don't insult somebody. Don't be vulgar. And don't lift yourself up at the expense of somebody else. Don't lift yourself up by putting someone else down. This isn't a teeter-totter. Have a good humor. Smile, laugh. Make other people smile, laugh. It sounds weird, but force yourself to be happy. See the good in things. See the humor in things. Sometimes you'll find it in where you least expect it. We're going to be doing more videos with respect to this and other subjects of interest to converts, Baalei Tshuva, Returnees, and Noahides. Please come back. Please watch. I hope you're finding these informative and helpful. I hope you're able to incorporate these things into your life. Until next time, on behalf of the Emunah Project, I'm Daniel, and thank you too much.